In 1991, researchers at the HeartMath Institute made a discovery that rewrote what science understood about the human body. The heart is not just a pump. It is the most powerful electromagnetic field generator in the human body, 5,000 times stronger than the brain. And when the heart and brain synchronize their fields, a state called coherence, the biological effects are so significant that 3 ancient traditions had been prescribing the method to achieve it for more than 3,000 years. The Vedic tradition called the heart the seat of Anahata, the unstruck sound, the center from which the individual field of consciousness communicates with the universal field. The Egyptian tradition placed the heart, not the brain, at the center of their entire metaphysical system. Their most sacred ritual, the weighing of the heart, was a precise description of the coherent state. The Taoist tradition used a single character Shin to mean both heart and mind simultaneously, because for the Taoists, intelligence did not originate in the brain. It originated in the heart. 3 traditions, 3 continents, thousands of years apart, all pointing to the same organ, the same field, the same protocol. In 1991, when HeartMath researchers first measured the heart's electromagnetic field, they were not looking for ancient wisdom. They were doing cardiac research. What they found changed the direction of their work entirely. The heart generates a field that extends 3 to 4 feet beyond the physical body. It communicates with the brain not just through the nervous system, but through electromagnetic field interactions that the brain detects and responds to. And in the coherent state, when the heart's rhythm is smooth, ordered, and synchronized with the brain, the effects on cognition, immune function, hormonal balance, and emotional regulation are measurable, significant, and fast. 3 ancient traditions had been generating this state deliberately for 3,000 years. They just called it by different names. Here is the precise science. The heart generates 2 types of field: an electrical field approximately 60 times larger in amplitude than the brain's electrical activity, and a magnetic field approximately 5,000 times stronger than the brain's magnetic field. This field is not contained within the body. It extends outward, detectable by instruments up to several feet from the body. Other people's hearts can detect your heart's field. Your heart can detect theirs. This is not a metaphor for empathy. It is a physical measurement. HeartMath researchers used magnetometers to confirm it. Heart coherence is a specific physiological state. In the incoherent state, the heart's rhythm is irregular, jagged, erratic. The pattern of the heart rate variability graph looks like a chaotic oscillation. In the coherent state, the heart's rhythm becomes smooth, ordered, sine wave shaped. Heart rate variability shifts from chaotic to harmonic. And in that coherent state, the brain follows. The 2 fields synchronize. The electromagnetic communication between heart and brain becomes clear rather than noisy. HeartMath's research confirmed measurable changes in cortisol reduction, DHEA increase, immune function improvement, cognitive clarity, emotional regulation, all from the same physiological shift. All achievable within 3 to 5 minutes. The Vedic tradition identifies 7 energy centers, chakras, along the spine. The 4th, Anahata, is positioned at the heart. The Sanskrit word Anahata means the unstruck sound, the vibration that arises without any physical impact, not produced by 2 things striking together, simply present. This is a precise description of the heart's electromagnetic field. It is not produced by a mechanical impact. It is generated by the coherent oscillation of the cardiac muscle itself, a field that is simply present, extending outward from the center of the body. The Vedic tradition describes prana as flowing most powerfully through the Anahata center, when the practitioner achieves a state of stillness, gratitude, or deep compassion. The Bhagavad Gita describes this state as sama, equanimity, the condition in which the field of consciousness is undisturbed by the movement of thoughts and emotions. HeartMath's research identifies the emotional states that most reliably generate cardiac coherence: appreciation, gratitude, care, compassion. Not relaxation, not neutral calm, specifically positive, outward-directed emotional states. The Vedic tradition prescribed exactly these states as the means of activating the Anahata center, because 3,000 years of practice had confirmed what HeartMath would measure with instruments. The field becomes coherent through the heart, not the mind. And the emotional key to that field is appreciation. The Egyptian metaphysical system placed the heart, not the brain, at the absolute center of human consciousness. When the ancient Egyptians described the Ka, the vital force, they described it as residing primarily in the heart. When they described the intelligence of the individual, the capacity for wisdom, they located it in the heart. The brain was understood as a cooling organ. The heart was understood as the seat of IB consciousness, feeling, will, and moral awareness. This is not mythology. Modern neuroscience has confirmed that the heart contains approximately 40,000 neurons, a neural network capable of independent perception, learning, and memory. The heart has its own nervous system. It does not simply receive instructions from the brain. It sends signals upward. The most sacred ritual in the Egyptian Book of the Dead is the weighing of the heart. After death, the heart of the deceased is placed on a scale and weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the feather of truth, balance, and cosmic order. If the heart is heavy burdened with fear, attachment, resentment, it outweighs the feather. The soul cannot proceed. If the heart is light, clear, coherent, in alignment with Ma'at, it balances perfectly with the feather, and the soul is liberated. This is not an afterlife story. It is a precise description of the coherent state. A heart burdened with emotional noise, fear, resentment, anxiety, generates an incoherent field. A heart in the state of Ma'at, equanimity, appreciation, alignment, generates the coherent field that HeartMath measures. The Egyptians were describing the same physiological state as HeartMath. In the language of soul and feather, the Taoist tradition uses a single character, shin, seen, to mean both heart and mind simultaneously. This is not imprecision. It is a deliberate philosophical statement. The heart and the mind are not separate systems. The intelligence that matters, the intelligence that perceives reality clearly, does not originate in the brain. It originates in the heart. The Tao Te Ching describes the sage as one who acts from the shin, from the unified heart-mind rather than from the calculating reactive surface mind. To the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. Lao Tzu. The stillness Lao Tzu describes is not mental relaxation. It is cardiac coherence. The heart becoming smooth, ordered, aligned, so that the field it generates is clear rather than noisy. When the shin is coherent, perception clarifies. The Tao, the underlying field of reality, becomes accessible. Modern HeartMath research calls this state psychophysiological coherence. The Taoists called it alignment with the Tao. Different words. The same measurable state. Before the biology, a brief experiment. Right now, place one hand on your chest over your heart. Bring to mind something or someone you genuinely appreciate, not a thought about appreciation, an actual felt sense. Notice what shifts in your chest when you do that. That shift, in under 10 seconds, is the beginning of the coherent state. 3 ancient traditions spent 3,000 years learning to sustain it. Here is what is happening in your body right now precisely. When you generate a genuine feeling of appreciation, the heart's rhythm shifts from irregular to smooth. Heart rate variability becomes harmonic. In the first 60 seconds, The vagus nerve, the primary communication pathway between heart and brain, activates. Parasympathetic tone increases. Cortisol drops. DHEA rises. In the first 3 minutes, the brain detects the change in the heart's electromagnetic field. Prefrontal cortex activity increases. Amygdala reactivity decreases. The neural networks associated with clear cognition and emotional regulation come online. In research published by the HeartMath Institute, participants in the coherence state showed a 23% reduction in cortisol and a 100% increase in DHEA, the longevity hormone, after just 1 month of regular practice. This is not a relaxation effect. This is a state change accessible in minutes, that 3 ancient traditions prescribed as the foundation of spiritual practice because they had observed its effects over thousands of years. Here is the question all 3 traditions are implicitly asking. The brain thinks. It analyses, calculates, categorizes, plans. It is extraordinarily useful. But the brain operates from a model of reality built from past experience. Every perception is filtered through what has happened before. Every response is shaped by stored patterns. The heart, in the coherent state, does not operate from stored patterns. It operates from the present field. The Taoist Shin is not thinking. It is perceiving directly. The Egyptian heart weighed against the feather of Ma'at is not calculating, it is aligning. The Vedic Anahata is not reasoning, it is resonating. All 3 traditions understood something that HeartMath's instruments have now confirmed. The coherent heart accesses a quality of knowing that the calculating mind, however sophisticated, cannot reach on its own. Here is what this means for you precisely. The field you are generating right now from your heart is not contained inside your body. It extends outward. It interacts with other fields. It is detectable, measurable, real. And the state of that field, whether it is coherent or incoherent, clear or noisy, is not fixed by your circumstances. It is determined by the quality of feeling you generate in the present moment. The Vedics called the coherent heart the gateway to the quantum field. The Egyptians called it the heart aligned with Ma'at. The Taoists called it the Shin in harmony with the Tao. HeartMath calls it psychophysiological coherence. Whatever you call it, you can enter it right now, in 3 to 5 minutes, using a protocol that 3 ancient traditions independently developed and that modern neuroscience has confirmed in every detail. We are going to do the full heart coherence protocol now. Find a comfortable position. 1 hand on your chest if that feels right. Close your eyes. Take 1 natural breath. Let the body settle. Notice the sensation of your hand on your chest, the warmth, the gentle movement of breath. You are already in contact with the most powerful electromagnetic field your body generates. Now, begin to breathe in a slow, even rhythm. Inhale through the nose for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale through the nose for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhale 5. Exhale 5. Let the rhythm become easy, automatic. Now, while maintaining the breath, bring to mind something or someone you genuinely appreciate. Not a thought about it. The actual felt sense, let it grow in your chest. This is the coherent state, the heart shifting from irregular to smooth. Hold this breath and appreciation together. Let the breath return to its natural rhythm. Keep the hand on the chest. Notice the quality of the field you are now generating. The Vedics called this the Anahata field activated. The Egyptians called this the heart light as a feather. The Taoists called this the Shin, aligned with the Tao. Take one final slow breath. And gently return. Next time on Quantum Gnosis. Every ancient tradition described the same quantum field. The Bhagavad Gita called it Brahman. The Tao Te Ching called it the Tao. The Hermetic tradition called it the All. Quantum field theory just gave it a fifth name. Keep the hand on your chest for one more moment. 3,000 years of independent observation, one measurable state, available to you right now in minutes. Ancient wisdom, quantum proof, direct knowing. This is Quantum Gnosis.